joke. I don't really take, I think it's a joke and it's not a joke. It's a joke for anyone to think that another human being is going to come along and fix that kind of problem for them. And it actually, if you've been in the seminar now for 3 days, you see, if anything, I'm begging for these guys to think. I'm begging, pleading, doing anything I can to get them to demonstrate that they understand and think for themselves. A guru supposedly gets people under his influence and under his power. Now, it can be useful as a teacher to get people to believe that you're this person who can change them like that, because through suggestion they'll do it to themselves. But I think the whole idea of a guru is a joke. I'm kidding around. I mean, the whole idea of someone who's pure and above and is no longer human, who's transcended humanity. Well, if you transcended humanity, how can you understand the humans who you're teaching? So, in that sense, I think it's a joke. The sense in which it is serious is that a guru comes from the word to take away darkness, guru, to take darkness. I do believe through being deeply dedicated to these people and understanding how they tick, I can free them from some of their trapped ways of thinking that they would never get out of on their own. There's some people in that room who I'm doing a lot of extra attending to because they're thinking in a way that keeps them stuck. That Russian guy in the front of the room, I'm deliberately, because I understand that way of thinking, because I was caught in it myself for many years, anytime he engages in any kind of questions that engage that way of thinking, I shut it down. I frustrate it because I want him to learn an entirely new way of thinking about it. So the extent that I can very deeply see into people's stuck patterns with deep clarity and deep insight, that's guru-like. That is a guru-like ability to see deeply into people's samskaras, their fixed ways of perceiving that are so deeply rooted, they'd never be able to see it on their own. To free someone from that is something that a guru will do. And to the extent that I can do that and enjoy it, maybe that's guru-like. Look, Bravo, I like to put people on. I like yanking people's chains because it's fun. It's fun to get reactions from people and see what they're going to do and how they're going to respond. It's one of my hobbies. I enjoy it. Now, I do have legitimate gripes with some people. If people, look, people say, why should you be so concerned about people stealing your work? So what? And they don't get that intellectual property is a result of a lot of effort and years of work. I have a family to raise. I have my cats. You know, I've got to feed me, feed my cats. I have a future. When people take food off your table, if you were a plumber and people didn't pay you for the plumbing, you'd be pissed off. Or another plumber charged for your work. You did the work and Joe's Plumbing got the check, got paid. This is also about business. I'm also doing a business. This is a livelihood that I'm doing. So, and the other thing is when people take things and don't even give, not only are they not paying me, they're claiming it for their own. That's an insult. They don't give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. There's some people who I won't mention who, I know one, and they're former students of mine who took my stuff word for word. He not only claimed that he created it, he said I learned it from him. So he's not only insulting me, he's smacking me around in the bargain. Now, I don't have the resources. Neil said in his book that I'm very litigious. I sue people. In fact, I've only ever sued one person, one time. Ever. And that was required because of what he was doing to my business. So I do have a legitimate gripe against people who are making money off of my work and giving me nothing. I think that's, those who don't understand it, don't understand what intellectual property is. Right. Do you see how much fun I'm having up there? It's a chance for me to take what I do better and what I enjoy more than anything and to use it in a way to set people free. To set people free in a way that no one else can do. There's no one else in this community who has the change skills and the deep understanding of how these guys are programmed. No one else can do it. And so to know that, to have that kind of profound impact on lives, profound impact, and to do it in a way where no one else can even get close to this level of skill, to do what I do best, to do what I enjoy the most, to do what I do better than anything else I do in my life in a way that really, truly sets people free and blows them out of the water. I don't aim at, oh, wow, that's cool, or wow, this is really great. I want my students to have, holy shit. I want them to not be able to believe how good it works. That's very satisfying because it meets my value of being able to do what I do best and have incredibly maximum impact with other people. Well, Speed Seduction primarily is what I'm doing now. I have in the past taught some magic and psychic influence courses, and I'm almost certainly within 6 months going to be launching a program on how to use these skills for marketing, sales, presentations, job interviews, platform skills, that sort of thing. Anybody who wants to get power and choice and selectivity and control in the relations with women, whether it's guys who have never had a woman, guys who do really well, or usually the biggest category are guys who are in between. They've had some success, but they've never really been able to get the quality or the kind of women they wanted in the way they want to. Anybody and everybody. A lot of guys have a collector mentality. They've been through many different events and seminars, and I don't want them using other people's ways of thinking in my material, because my material really is pretty radically different. If you try to bring mystery method and mystery's way of looking at people into my material, setting aside who's got the better system, it doesn't work. It's a totally different way. So I want to, if anyone is in the room thinking, oh, I wonder how this fits into DHV and getting a pumping by BT before I do my LOV spike or whatever, I don't want them thinking that way while they're learning my stuff. So it's also a way of discouraging that, going, no, put that out of the room. Oh, that's Wally George. That's not the 70s. That was the 80s. Oh, that was even before I was Ross Jeffries. I was bored.
That was another question I was going to ask you.
It was before I was Ross Jeffries. Before I even did, it was 1984. Ronald Reagan was still president. Okay. And I was bored, and I saw Wally on TV. I did one before that. That was my second appearance. My first one is, I called up his producer. I said, yeah, I'm a Satan worshiper. I'd like to come on your show and tell you why God and the Bible are full of baloney. You know, let's have him on. So it was fun. It was me going, let's have some fun. Let's yank people's chain. So I went out with a friend of mine wearing a hood. He was pretending to be my bodyguard. And of course, Wally threw me off the show. He knew it was put on. And then I figured, what's a twist on that? I know. I'll say I'm a conservative for Satan. And I'll go back and forth between saying things they agree with, like, yes, for Ronald Reagan, and Satan is, and conservatism is great because it's satanic values, and watch them go back and forth. So that was me just fucking around, having a good time.